stressful. My usual coping mechanisms: Pinot Grigio, shopping, extensive self-care. You may not recognize me. It's a new face. Did not cut it. So to relax, I leaped out of my comfort zone and took up knitting. My knitting teacher, Karen, said, "What's your project?" I said, "To knit my rage into a long, long scarf and bury it when the world returns to normal." She said, "You might want to consider a bedspread, king size." My aptitude for knitting and for sex are much the same. Karen says my stitches are not reaching completion. Last night, Mark said the same thing. That's my husband. Sex in my 60s is not as spontaneous as in my 30s. Now, before we get romantic, I have to ask, are we doing it with or without the mouth guard? To be frank, part of my anxiety has to do with the fact that I finally quit smoking. 13 years ago. But I only recently got off the nicotine patch. I probably should have told Mark or had him sign a consent form before detoxing from nicotine. Because the first thing I did was break up with him by text. And I'm not kidding. If I had a podcast, it would be called Poor Mark. Don't worry, he's in recovery with my 2 ex-husbands and assorted former boyfriends. So anyway, he writes me back this most beautiful, passionate note. I had to ask, did you write this all by yourself? He said AI helped a little. So now I don't know. Am I in love with Mark or ChatGPT? To be honest, what got me out of my funk was doubling my medication, giving up knitting, which is highly stressful, and deciding to give back to the community. Because I, like Ruby, have never been a mother, never been responsible for a living thing, not a plant, not a child, certainly not a child. So I said, given my wealth of experience, I want to mentor a young girl. So I'm going to apply to volunteer at Little Big Sisters, you know, that organization. Because I have a lot to offer. I could teach her how to drive and put makeup on in the rear view mirror. I could teach her how to enjoy cultural events such as wine tasting. For her sweet 16, she could come with me to get Botox. Can you believe they rejected me? It must be because they asked my husband Mark and my brother Robert the same trick question. Have you ever seen Lynne discipline a child? They had to be truthful. We've never seen Lynne with a child. But Big Sisters did tell me I should participate in the program And they paired me with Tiffany, who happens to be president of her 5th grade middle school class. All right, so after the big sister humiliation, I decided I'm going to volunteer to walk dogs for ARF in Southampton. Shelter dogs. Mark says to me, it's 6:30 in the morning. Are you kidding me? You're going to drive from Riverhead to walk a dog? Why can't you walk the dog next door? There's a dog next door? So I arrive and ARF tells me, uh-oh, the microphone went off. Luckily, I have a loud voice. ARF tells me, you gotta have training to walk a dog. Are you kidding me? So after my failed attempts at being a big sister and dog walking, I decide to give back the Hamptons way. Attend a gala. It was a roaring 20s themed event. So I went on Amazon and bought a flapper dress. Spent all day doing hair and makeup. Arrived at the gala and everyone said, Lynn, what are you wearing? Is it Chanel? I said, no, it's original Jeff Bezos. The idea of galas and the actual event is not great. They're generally noisy, like you might understand, and also there's not enough food. So I am chasing this waiter who's carrying a tray of hors d'oeuvres around. Is it shrimp? Is it crab cakes? He turns around and yells at me, it's garbage. So much for galas. Oh, other exciting news. I'm buying a co-op apartment in Manhattan. Co-op boards are notorious torturous, much like fraternity hazing. I had to fill out this long application. Would you believe the first question is, list all your volunteer experience. So I leave it blank. They return it to me and they say, your application has failed to reach completion. Thank you.